Hello and welcome to another video everyone. I hope you all are doing well. This is a video that I've been wanting to make for a while. And I know it's another discussion video and I've done a lot of those as of recent, but this one is kind of personal to me. Because I'm a small content creator, chances are you're probably a small content creator as well. And sometimes, this thing just cannot be for everyone. And I thought that at first. So that is why today I'm going to be discussing and sharing some of my experiences about being a small content creator. Or in other words, the truth about being a small content creator. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just talk, I guess. Alright, so one of the things that I want to discuss first is the idea of streamers. Now, chances are, if you're a small content creator, you have probably taken a bit of a liking towards live stream content, which is great because I feel like everyone should be open to experiment with their content. And, streaming is a good way to grow your audience, experiment with different types of content, as I probably just mentioned, but not everyone has to do it. Now, I do watch a handful of streamers, mainly just fellow creators and people who I like to support. But, if you're streaming, you should probably think to yourself, is this for me? Is this what I feel like doing? Because I feel like a lot of these smaller creators stream just so they can get more traction to their content and stuff and show the world who they are, which is great. There's nothing wrong about that, but there's an option. You have the option. I'm not saying you should take this option at all. There's an option for you to just stop streaming if it's not for you, and you just feel like you're doing it just to fit in and stuff. Which we've all been there. Now, being someone who streams mostly on weekends, I'm kind of taking a break now at the time of recording, but I'll be back to it soon in a few weeks. I only average 2 to 3 viewers every stream, which is fine because I'm just recording content for the channel, which I'm going to then post on the channel. And I like the fact that I'm getting attention on my streams. That's great because before I sat down and recorded this, I was only at 17 to 18 followers on my Twitch, and now I'm at 25, so yeah, I thank you all for supporting me on that, and hopefully I can continue pursuing that in the future if I choose to do so. And for all these streamers who are just starting out, I mentioned that I watch a few of them. You're doing a good job. In none of this am I complaining, saying that you shouldn't stream. All I'm saying is that it might not be for you, but they're doing a good job. All these upcoming streamers and creators, they're doing a good job, and we can be happy about that. Similarly to what I just mentioned about all these upcoming streamers, a lot of people seemingly want to be content creators nowadays, simply because the internet is more accessible. People are getting devices at an early age. I think that kind of feeds into that, and also YouTube Shorts in general. I know I'm going to be a bit of a hypocrite for saying this, but YouTube Shorts is a bit of a shit show at this point. I think the same can also be said about the usage of AI when making content, because using it for thumbnails, titles and descriptions, I think is a bit lazy, because it's not that hard to just make a description for a video, make a title of the video. I get for thumbnails it's a different story, but you can think about stuff without having to type it into ChatGPT. Because whether or not you're a big or small creator, creation of content is a big deal. And as someone who spends most of their week making and planning videos, I feel like I'm qualified to talk about what I'm going to talk about next. And that is the type of videos that you put out on your channel. Now, I have been making content since about April 2022, when I was 12 or 13. And it's come a long way since then. I've been kind of experimenting within the past few months or so with the type of content that I want to put out on this channel. And I'm still happy to do that. But sometimes, for these newer creators, and you know, if you want to make a channel, you need to like think about what type of content you want to post, whether or not that's something you're into, something you want to talk about, something you want to just get off your chest. That's you can do that, but you know, it took me a while. Like, I'm thinking about 2 years ago, like this time 2 years ago, I was kind of in a weird place with the channel. I was making videos that were kind of like targeting a certain audience, even though deep down I just didn't feel happy making those types of videos. I have like put a lot of my videos on private because I just wasn't happy with what they were and like what they represented. And basically, now I'm kind of just still figuring out what I want to post on here, and regardless of what the views show, I'm happy with the type of videos that I make, and I'm not one to care about views, because if I get a video out there, then that's, you know, giving life to the channel. That's showing people that, hey, I'm still alive and kicking. I'm still out and about making content. Well, I say out and about, but you know. And regardless of what you post, it can either be good for the algorithm or bad for the algorithm. Sometimes, you know, this is from my experience, you have to sometimes get lucky with how you're titling your video, how you're putting what you're putting the thumbnail as, pretty much. And you know, YouTube Shorts, yeah, I'm talking about Shorts again, is good for the algorithm because it keeps your channel alive. Sure, you know, you may find a lot of engagement from it, but you know, it's good just to get a video out there if you're not feeling motivated to make a long form. And sometimes with your content, you don't always have to like stick to like trends and what's popular. Sometimes if you just do your own thing, maybe that's always good enough. And also, try and make content that makes you feel happy and something that doesn't cause you to get burnt out. Especially if you're just starting out, you gotta understand whether or not you feel like your content is right for you. Does it represent you as a channel or a person? Does it make you feel happy? Do you feel like your content needs to be changed or fixed in the way of how it's edited and stuff like that? Because I understand a lot of small content creators start this off as a hobby, but you never know. One day you might even start earning money from YouTube. Okay, so one thing I just wanted to talk about before this video wraps up is how you present yourself in your videos. Are you your true self, or are you just putting on a character? Because with like bigger creators, they tend to do this with like, I don't know, people like Mr. Beast and KSI, for example. But as a small creator, it's important to, you know, have a personality with your videos, and so people come back and watch you. Alright, so that's pretty much all I have to say in regards to this video. I hope you all have enjoyed, and hopefully I have given you some useful insights into making content. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.